What is up, y'all? KRCPinto here. I'm hanging out with the LordKnight, incredible top player, one of the competitors in this year's national championships. What was that face?
I was like,
incredible top player. Come on.
I was trying to move the screen, and then I was like, oh, this is freezing, and then this is weird, and I don't know what to do. So I was like,
looks like you were cringing at the compliment, which I got to make sure you're not cringing at the compliment because very deserved.
No.
All right.
No.
Yeah, we're hanging out today. LordKnight has taken some time out of his day to let me ask him some questions about the national championship, how things are running, how he's doing, and his strategy going forward. So, LordKnight, thanks for being here today, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing great, man. Yeah, dude. Again, thanks for taking the time. I'm stoked to have you on here because I haven't been able to talk to any competitors yet, so it's really cool to be able to get some like behind-the-scenes look at the national championship. As a fan, I'm watching this stuff all the time, so this is just super, super cool to me.
Bet.
All right, man. So first and foremost, gonna give you a low ball here. How have you felt about the event so far? This is definitely a first for the Dragon Ball scene. So, have you been enjoying it? Is it like a lot? Where's your head at on the whole thing?
So far I have been enjoying the event. I think you might know I basically have played 0 online tournaments this whole lockdown quarantine season 3. Like I haven't competed in anything. So it's nice to have something where I'm like, oh, there are games on the line for the first time for a while. The format is really good, and there were things about the format that I didn't think of until it actually started. So like, for instance, I was talking with a friend about this yesterday, and basically the way they have it set up is so that they have 7 weeks worth of like top 8s basically in a row.
Which is pretty wild.
Which is pretty wild, yeah. Like during like a typical tournament season, you would expect if there's like a major every week, let's say, it's not like the same people are going to the same stuff. Most people are trying to go to one big event every month. So the equivalent would be like this tournament but spread out to like 8 months because we're only playing each other like once a week, right?
Right.
So I think that adds a nice little mix. It's like some people, we've had this argument's not the right word, a debate before about like grassroots versus esports, and like this tournament actually has a piece of that where like it's an invitational straight up, and the reason why some people had like a grassroots versus esports argument before is that there was someone who doesn't, he's like let's say for lack of a better word, like esports pundit, I guess that's the best way of putting it. I forget the guy's name, but he was like, no one's trying to watch pools, no one's trying to watch these jobbers just like do nothing at 8 a.m. Like people are here to watch, like people are here to watch Sonic, people are here to watch the kill stage, people are here to watch Goichi, people are here to watch Wawa, they're not here to watch like Naruto Fan 69. Right? And this format plays into that a little bit because the players are invited. Like they picked people who have a lot of World Tour points. For the people who are wondering why they invited me, even though I didn't compete in the online tournaments, is because I went crazy last year. I competed a shit ton last year. So I have a bunch. I'm like 20th or something in last year's ranking, something like that.
That's awesome.
It's awesome, but it's also not good enough. And so, it'd be like that.
It'd be like that. Still sick. I mean, 20th out of how many? That's a big number of competitors.
Yeah, but he didn't qualify for finals, so
that's true.
Not enough. Well. Yeah, it's not enough. But people have been enjoying watching it, and it kind of plays into that little, I'm on the team that like both are good. Like events like Bums and LBC are good, and events like this are good, of course. And we haven't had any like, it's just like if someone is doing something, then that's it. So it's nice to have some official support this year, and they are trying their best with what they got because we all know the net code is not good. So we're all playing on PC. It's regional. I think they really are trying the best that they can. So
that was actually my next question is how's the online holding up for you in general? Like obviously we know DBFZ netcode is questionable, rollback win, but you know, you got to do what you got to do. So, like, have you felt like the regional breakup has been helpful with that? Has it been tolerable? Have you seen issues with it? You know, how's it going on your end?
It's about as good as you could expect it to be, you know? Like, making it regional has definitely helped. Of course, actually, it's funny because I was talking to one of the French players the other day, and he was like, "So how's the internet over there? Like, everyone in France basically has fiber or like something else that's really good." And I was like, "Well,
Must be nice.
you know, yeah. Like I'm lucky to live somewhere where fiber optics is an option, but it's not an option for everybody, right?" And then US East is pretty split up too because I think it's not so bad in Kami's case, no Kami's case, but in like Mamba's case, it's kind of rough because he lives in Florida.
Right, pretty big gap
So
there.
he's like, it's a huge gap, yeah, between like New York versus New Jersey and like Florida, you know.
Yeah.
So that's been, well, I haven't played him yet, but I've heard his games have not. Like him versus Kill Stage apparently was really laggy. Him versus Double L apparently was like 15 frames or something. He was like, "Yo, this is not."
Jeez.
I can't do anything. And if I'm wrong, correct me later. But I heard it was like 15 frames. It's really laggy. My games have been fine so far. Personally, the only thing that was crazy was the first week where I had a lot of issues with my controller working on PC, my arcade stick working on PC. But I fixed that problem. So besides that, it's been pretty good. Like the connection versus Kami was great. The connection versus Hook was fine. Like I didn't really feel like it was laggy or anything.
Cool. Well, that's good, man. It'd be a shame if it was really killing you. I know, like, you know, controversial spot, but like obviously Chris G had some issues the first week, and you know that caused him to leave. So I feel like I haven't seen any other major complaints about lag so far. Although I know the Japanese players have to play on PS4, right? Like they don't have a Steam Dragon Ball.
They don't have Steam, but it's okay because like they all have. It's only like East Coast, West Coast Japan. Like it's not like anyone from like North or South Japan, so they're relatively close. Like I played online over there when I stayed over there before, and it's like really good.
Yeah, I think even if you spanned like all of Japan, that would probably be. I'm doing this off the top of my head, and I could be completely estimating this wrong, but I think that's less of a gap than New York to Florida, or like probably about the same.
It's about the same. Yeah, it's about the same. It's about the same. But the thing is, they complain when it's like 3-frame delay, and I'm just like, yo, I'll play 3-frame delay all day. What are you talking about?
I live in Texas.
Shit,
that's my life.
I'm like 3 frames is not. That ain't shit, dude. Like real talk.
We're eating it 3 frames. That's good stuff. So you said you talked to a French player. Have you been like keeping your eye on any other regions specifically? Are there ones that you're like super into right now? Like I know personally, I've been waking up at like 7 a.m. every Saturday to watch France because I'm just loving Kaiden. Kaiden is so cool.
France is the best, and France is the best spectator experience for everyone overall because like all the regions are like have a high skill level. But France and also Spain, they play. It's Europe, so they play really unusual characters and like team builds. So it's a really good spectator experience compared to the other regions. I think Japan is amazing. Like I basically watch Japan because Kaz is playing Roshi, so I want to see what he's doing. You know, get some ideas, stuff like that.
Right.
I've been enjoying Japan, but a lot of people have been saying that they find it really boring because they all play the same shit. But they're trying to win, so I don't blame them for doing that at all.
They're funny because like you get the UI Kid Buu GT teams, but then you have Tachi running Goku Black just cause.
Yeah, he's just out here. He's definitely in his I think I found something mode. I'm the same right now, but I think like what he's doing, I'm like, all right, bro, you got it.
Tachikawa just, you know, he's gonna be himself all the time. He's that dude. Do you have someone like you're pulling for in each region? Not like who you expect to win necessarily, but like, do you have like a fan favorite like for yourself for each of the other regions?
Not really. Like, yeah, not really. Like, I just kind of watch each set, you know. Like, I'm not. If there's anyone, then it's probably, like I said, Kaz, just only because he's playing Roshi, really. And of course, West Coast, it's Apology Man, because that's my teammate. But besides that, it's like not like I just kind of watch them all. Or I try. I don't always get to watch all of them. Like you mentioned, like France is really early on Saturdays, and like our offline gathering is Friday and it runs really late. It runs to like 4 or 5 a.m. So I usually miss that, and I usually miss Japan because I'm sleeping. So I try to like catch up with those two regions over the week. Spain and US West I watch live.
Yeah, I'm doing about the same. I do Spain and I wake up for France, but like, yeah, Japan for me is at like 5 in the morning. So
yeah, it's super early. Yeah.
That's tough. So you kind of touched on this a little bit already, but do you think that the round robin format is like a preferable thing right now? Is the first to 5 like good in practice, or is it like a lot to deal with at once? How have you felt about that piece of the competition so far?
No, it's a really good format that they're doing it like this. They're making sure, well, one is like just a ton of free content for them, but two, it also makes so like, there's not as much argument about like sometimes there's sets in tournaments where people are like, oh, it should, like, people argue about who they felt like should have won because of something that happened, but like first to 5 you get a maximum of 9 games, so there's not that much. Like, what are you gonna argue about? like it's such a long set.
Right. It feels almost like the middle ground to me between like, a traditional tournament set where they're trying to move things along and they have to limit to like best of 5 versus like, the classic FGC throwdown first to 10 deal. Like they kind of found like the middle point there, which is interesting.
Yeah. And it's a good amount of time too, because like if it's a 5-0 and it's a body bag, that's like a 20-minute set, but like a 5-4 is like slightly over an hour. So they likely have like a block of time where they're like, it should take between 2 and 4 hours, and then that's like a whole top 8 basically. That's why I keep like referring to it as like a top 8 to me, because it takes about the same amount of time.
Cool. Yeah. All right, let's shift to like your competitive standpoint right now. So just first and foremost, I want to touch on your team composition because first of all, it's pretty unique for right now. You've got Gotenks and Roshi who are like being played, but not a lot. I think Sub's the only other consistent Gotenks player, and there's
it's Sub and Kaz,
and then like 3 other Roshis, I think, something like that.
Right now I think it's 2. I think it's just it's myself, Reynold, and Kaz. Kaz plays Gotenks Roshi too.
Right. And then you've got the Z Broly on Anchor, which is, a common pick at the moment, but obviously a super strong pick. Z Broly's ridiculous this season. So, what are like the thoughts and strategy that went into building that team for this championship? I know it's like a little out of the box for you. I don't think you were playing, obviously you weren't playing Roshi, but I don't think you were playing Gotenks and Z Broly before this season, right?
When did I pick up? I picked up Gotenks again in August, in the middle of August.
So pretty recent.
Yeah, at this point it's pretty recent, I would say. But I played him in season 1 for like 3 or 4 months, so it's not like I'm new to him.
Right, so you got like the key loops and all that kind of like drilled in already.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, in this season, you're not even using those combos really. You're trying to hit rejumps, so it's like all new style of combo that you have to do.
So overall, though, it's pretty much a new team for you. So there's obviously a lot of faith in it. How do you feel about the game plan so far? Like going in, obviously you felt really, really strong about it, and it has worked at some points, and we've seen other times where it's got beaten. So where's your head at on the team right now? Are you still feeling super strong about it?
Yeah, I think this team is like, I think it's a really good team. I think it's a really, really good team, and when I picked the team originally, I was playing Gotenks, Space Goku, and Z Broly originally, and I was already feeling like that was pretty good. Roshi fixes, or he helps me deal with some things that I find to be a personal weakness I have in this game, like for this game. And my whole goal in season 3 was to focus on trying to fix things that I think I have a personal problem with, not competing so much. And Roshi just does a bunch of them for me. So I'm like, as I played him, I was like, oh, like this team works better than I thought it would. Like I try every DLC, because if we get like another Bardock or another GT, I'm like, oh, I want to like be there right away.
Right.
But and with UI, like I was playing UI, and like yeah, he's good, but that team I was playing at the time was like Base Vegeta, Trunks, Broly. I was like, I can't see him on this team doing anything meaningful at all besides just existing. So like it didn't feel like season 1 Bardock or like 16 or season 2 GT where I was like, oh, I probably like need to play him. Like I need to play him. And I didn't get that feeling from him, despite so many people playing him, of course. But I think the main reason why UI is so represented is because they just all the adult Gohan players swapped adult Gohan for UI. That's my feeling anyway.
That's an interesting take. I hadn't thought of it like that. But like
Yeah,
I'm running through it in my head, and
all the Kibu adult Gohan that you would see are all adult Kibu UI now. Almost all of them.
that's interesting.
Yeah.
So what's the thing about Roshi that made him kind of the glue for your team? Is it the assist? Because we've seen the assist
originally
is
it's the
powerful.
Originally it's the assist, but as the more I play him, the more like he has a lot of strengths that other characters don't have, I think. So his defense is better than other characters. He can get out of situations that other characters can't get out of. He's got great anti-air. He has like unusual neutral that people. So like I keep running into spots where I'm like I don't really know how to deal with this because he doesn't deal with things the way other characters do. But then when I find a solution to that neutral problem, then my opponent is like, oh, okay, what do I do about this? Like I have no idea what to do about this, and characters don't do what he does, so you can't apply some like universal answer that you would do to any other character to him. Like you need to have specific responses just for him. Like your safe jumps don't work on him, your key zoning doesn't work on him, your key blast Oxeme doesn't work on him, like all this stuff doesn't work on him. So you have to play your game differently. I felt like if I played my old team with Base Vegeta, that I would just get smoked. Like the team is pretty good, but it's just not good enough. Like there's too many flaws in that team, and it all has to do, and like the flaws are okay actually because every team has flaws, but it hurts too much against what people are playing right now. So like I think it would be way worse if I was playing that team. This team I think works better against those things, and like I am also kind of banking on people not knowing how to fight Roshi, which is a pretty legit, like there's a bunch of people who bank on like people not knowing how to fight characters who've been like pretty successful with that, and also since these are like basically the best players in the region, I'm like, oh, when I play these sets, like win or lose, I can take what I learned from that and push the team more than if I just kept on playing my Base Vegeta team.
And
those are basically the main reasons.
I think it's worth touching on the fact that it seems like you've had a like incredible attitude through this. You know, week 1 was controller issues. Week 2, you blew out Nokami, which was sick. And then this week, struggled against Hook a little bit, but you still held it pretty close. But like, you know, I watch your YouTube and I watched your breakdown of your and HookGangGod set, and you just seem so like relaxed going through it. Like it doesn't seem like there's any sort of negativity in your head at all when you're looking at this set, and like that's such a powerful tool to me. Like looking at a competitor who can like very analytically go through a loss and be like, okay, here's what happened, here's what he did really well, here's what I did really well but could have done better. Is that like something that you've like had with like for a long time, because you've been competing for a while, you've done a few different games? Has that always been a part of your process, or is that something you learned over time?
You learn it over time. You learn it over time basically, and like for me versus Hook, there was nothing for me to be upset about. I think I legitimately think I played well, and I executed the main plan that I had for playing against him. I just didn't take a couple of things into account. And there was no way I was going to be able to take that into account without playing him. And it seems that people are not playing each other before these sets, which makes sense. But playing him helps because Mamba plays Piccolo, Broly, Shell as well.
Right.
But he plays UI instead. So I can use stuff from this to help with that. because I basically think the main reason why I lost, besides like, you know, everyone makes mistakes, like drop combos sometimes. There's a couple of times where like I wasn't sure if something would kill, so I chose to go for Oki. There's a couple of those. But the main deciding factor is that since like my team is like I kill you with my point and I get the lead team, but his team is actually build a ton of meter and then enable Piccolo later in the game team. So even though I keep winning the point war, by winning the point war, he has the situation that he's actually looking for the whole game. So he doesn't care if he has 3 characters for this or 2 characters for this. Where like a lot of the things I do, one of the downsides of playing with this team that I'm playing is like when I win, it's overwhelmingly because of Gotenks. So my Gotenks is way ahead of my Roshi, because a lot of the games like you watched me in the Khalil tournament, like a bunch of the game there are games I win where Gotenks gets destroyed and I come back with Roshi rolling, but most of the games I win is because like Gotenks is just absolutely rolling you over. So in a competitive game like me vs Hook or something, like that's not really going to happen so often. And even when it does happen, because it did happen, like I think the last game, for instance, I killed his Blue Goku like really fast, really fast. So even when that happens, his second plan, or I mean, it's really his main plan, but it kind of works as like a second plan too. He's coming in with Piccolo with like 5 bars or whatever. So like, let's say Broly dies first, for instance, and he has like Piccolo, Blue Goku. All he's gonna do is try to like force his way in really hard to get you to block once, because he has the impossible to guard cancel Hell Zone with the Blue Goku assist, right?
Right.
So then he has like 4 of those stocked, and Piccolo does a lot of damage. So he's going to have many opportunities to run this really strong plan. So that's how he kept getting the games back. It's like I would generally win the point war, but his 2 vs 2 plan is not only a really stable one, but he's played Piccolo since the game came out. So like that's a lot to overcome compared to like my 1 month Roshi.
Right.
Yeah. So like there was nothing for me to be upset about, I think.
Was it disruptive to you that he switched from Blue Vegeta to Blue Goku? Did you know he was changing his team up, or was that like the game fired up and you were like, oh, that's different?
I knew before that he was gonna pick him, but it was only like a couple of days before, and I thought I didn't care because, like, you know, Blue Goku is mildly common. Like I have a lot of experience in this character. Maybe not someone like Hook's level, but it's not like I don't know what the character's doing. Like Blue Vegeta, a lot of last week was just me kind of bugging out about Blue Vegeta and asking people like, what the fuck am I supposed to do?
I was kind of bummed he switched. I like that he was playing Blue Vegeta. It's a cool character this season.
But I think the loss he took to Nitro made him be like, because if he played that Blue Vegeta, it might not have made a difference, but the score might just be different, you know, if he picked Blue Vegeta.
Does Blue Vegeta enable that same Hell Zone mix that Blue Goku's assist does?
I think so, because he's using the B. He doesn't use the A one. He used the B assist.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So you talked about how you like focus on winning the point war a lot as your strategy. Are you kind of treating the Gotenks on your team as a bit of a glass cannon? Because, you know, he's got mad damage this season if you're hitting rejumps, which can be a little treacherous in online play, but it seems like you're getting them fairly consistently, which is cool.
Yeah, I'm doing the most bitch made version of it. Like, there's no other way of doing it. Like every single, like I might make one more rejump tutorial, but I'm gonna call it like, I mean, I wish YouTube would like call it for bitches, but I'm gonna call it like for dummies or something. Because like the ones I'm doing, so Cool Kid found a way where you don't even have to dash jump mid-screen.
Yeah, you don't have to jump forward, right?
You jump forward. Yeah, yep. So after that, I was like, sick. Tournament combo, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. All the combos I do, because people are like, man, you're really good at these rejumps. I'm like, these are the absolute easiest. That should tell you, if I'm doing them in matches, in like serious matches, that should tell you how easy the combo is. Because I'm not doing any hard shit ever. ever. If I'm going for it, it's easy. It's like I promise.
You even see, I don't you get the key loop in there with some of them too. I don't even go for that. Mind you, like obviously our skill gap is astronomical, but like
even
I'm
the
2H only.
Even the key loop, like even those are auto timed, basically. So like on small characters, I do the super jump L1, and on everyone else, I do the super jump ML. Like before, when this patch dropped, I was doing like the super jump M, delay success, so I can get it on everybody. But the more I played, and I was like, man, I'm playing this online tournament. Like, I should stop doing it this way because I mess up a lot. So instead, I do it this way. That it's basically you will not mess that up.
And you know, it kind of shows that like you have that rejump dialed, because I like this is something I notice a lot when you're playing, is that you're really good at making a choice when you get a hit confirm on whether to like try to lead it into a rejump or just bring them down with the top assist and then launch from there. I feel like you make that choice correctly every single interaction. Off the top of my head, I don't think I've seen you do one where you like went for an iffy rejump and whiffed it. Like it's always like a 100% guaranteed rejump, and if it's not there, then you bring them down assist and then launch. Is that an accurate assessment?
Yeah. I have like a strat with him basically where it's like you should. Well, this is actually something I'm working on for this week, but like at least before now, to extend combos using both my assists, because Gotenks will build 2 bars basically. So like let's say you're starting at 0. You start at 0 and you get like, I don't know, some L hit, it's like a jab, and you burn both your assists, you get like 1.75 bars. So your ghost Oki should build 25% meter, so you get a bar. So that's like a 2-touch essentially.
It's pretty solid. I like that game plan a lot.
Yeah, that's the plan. It doesn't always go that. So like from playing, there's like some awkward stuff like, oh, what if I air to air them with this random button? Like there's a bunch of weird situations where maybe I can't get a combo. What if I like dash jump, meet them in the air with like JL? So I have no assist. So I just do right into launcher and I just do like auto combo, knock them down. So like that ghost won't 2-touch them. So it's like, what do I do? Or like, how do I fix this combo so I gain more meter, or like cross this damage for threshold, like stuff like that. That's probably like my main mission with Gotenks this week, I think. That and like I have to start using this stupid touch of death I keep saying I'm gonna use that I don't do. So I have to start using it in matches this week. Those are my 2 main goals with him.
And you know, glass cannon, the phrase I used earlier, not a really common phrase in Dragon Ball, I feel like, but I do think that it seems like you play really aggro with your Gotenks too. Like especially like this past week, I noticed a couple times where I think Hook snapped you in and you went straight into heavy miracle punches, like right across the stream, like punched his Broly. Like you're YOLOing that stuff. Is there like, do you think it's like, is kind of your goal there like either you're gonna get a really high damage combo out of it, or like, you know, like it's worth the trade-off for getting punished if you somehow make a whiff there?
I mean, in that example, it's like I could super dash, I could do hands, right? So if I'm gonna super dash, I might as well do hands, because if I do hands, I do 8,000 damage.
That's true.
So like,
yep.
why not pick hands? Like I have a rule with him where it's like, if I'm going to like, if I'm thinking like, oh, I'm gonna dash up jab, I do a special move instead to move that way.
Makes sense.
Like, if I'm gonna run over and like do jab, then I might as well do hands. Or I might as well do dynamite kick or something. Like all the movement I try to do with him is with special moves.
He's in a unique position too, where if you can hit confirm those hands, you still have a Rekka usage to like confirm it and like figure out what you're gonna do next. So
yeah,
there's a lot to that. He's such a cool character. I'm a Gotenks guy. I love that he's back. I love that you're repping him. You and Subatomic, my favorite US players to watch right now, just for that. Gotenks community giving you the spirit bombs every week.
Thank you. I mean, he's been in it for the long haul. I mean, I kind of just like had a serious character crisis in like August. I'm not gonna lie. There's no other way to put it. I was just like, man, what do I do? Like, I don't know what to do. But Gotenks kind of helped me out.
It's interesting to me that you let go of Trunks. I feel like you've been a Trunks fan for a long time, and he's pretty good right now, but you kind of left him behind.
Yeah, I know.
Does that hurt? Does it bother you that he's not on the team?
Yeah, he's like my favorite character So it sucks that I keep dropping it. Like this game, man, it feels like I can't play what I actually want to play. It's one of the things I dislike the most about Dragon Ball.
If every
It doesn't let me
character
play
was
what I want.
exactly the same power level, like you could do anything with everybody, what would be your ideal lineup of 3, just like out of character love?
Probably 21 Trunks and then like a third character. Anyone could be the third character. Honestly, I don't care. There's not a third. I guess like Vegeta, something stupid like that.
It's interesting you say that because 21's pretty good right now too. You can't find the
21 is
synergy with
good.
them.
21 is good. It's like, well, I think now it would be easier for me to build a team than at the beginning of season 3, because I used to, so like during season 2, I was like, there's only like 2 ways you can win this game. Like they just take, like one thing they did in this game is that the characters don't have unique ways of winning, essentially. So if you compare it to a game like GG, so for like you have Dizzy, right? Dizzy, you put the fish or whatever on the screen, you get in on them, and you like run your knockdown stuff, right? Or like Jacko, she's kind of like a runaway character. You hide behind these minions and you win that. You get the minions on the screen, you win, right? So like different characters win different ways. I hope my Discord didn't freeze, by the way. It looked like my Discord froze.
It didn't freeze until you said that, but it unfroze like a half second later, so it's all good.
Okay, yeah. I was like, okay. But the point I'm trying to make is that, like, you know, Guilty Gear has like a grappler, right? You win by grabbing them or poking them. You have your zoners. You have like your mid-range people. You have your knockdown people. And each of these characters have various things they're aiming for in order to win games. And the opposite side is like the person who's fighting them. They're like, oh, I can't let them do this to me, or else I can lose the game. But in Dragon Ball, the way they made Dragon Ball is that this basically does not exist by character. But this is the thing I missed in season 2. It does not exist by character. That's correct. But in more like over the summer, I was like, well, even if all the characters don't do stuff to win games, you can build teams a team that does something to win a game, right?
Right.
So with that, like, if I had that thought earlier this year, like it would have been way easier for me to, like, because I wanted to play 21 at the beginning of season 2, this season, I mean. So it would have been way easier for me to build a team with 21 or to build a team with Trunks or something like that. But because I didn't have that, because I didn't like understand that, I was like, well, base Vegeta is good, and I've been playing him since January, and Trunks is good, and I always try to play him, and then Broly is good, so let's play them together. That's basically what that team is, essentially. It's just like, these characters are good. Hopefully there's synergy. Let's go, right? But now I could build teams that like there's, you know, things like you can play defensively with like barrier assist and shit. You can do what Hook does with double neutral assist, and then like you do it like that way, and that's how you pick your characters.
I think that's an interesting insight. That's something I've definitely not considered up until you said it, but it makes a lot of sense.
No, think about it. Like how, like, I mean, you play Gotenks, so Gotenks is really easy. You're like, oh well, if I knock him down and do ghosts, I'm gonna kill your character, right? That's pretty easy. But like if you play, let's say, I want to pick the definition of an average character. If you play Bardock, Bardock's not average, but if you play Bardock, you can't tell me how you win with Bardock. Like, how do you win? Like, what situation does the character die with Bardock?
There used to be one. There used to be the level 3 OT, but
yeah, but you can't.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
You can't tell me. Like, if you're like, okay, I'm new to Guilty Gear, I want to play Milia just like you. How do you win with Milia? I can tell you one sentence. You knocked him down. That's how you win, right? Okay, I want to play Slayer. How do I win with Slayer? Oh, you get next to them. Everything you do is plus. They can't see anything, so you just rush them down like crazy, right? In Dragon Ball, if you're not playing like a command grab character, or if you're not playing like a Piccolo, Ginyu, Gotenks, something like that, it is much, maybe not possible to define what situation your character puts the defender in to win, like to kill that character. And this thing drove me crazy during season 2, like totally drove me crazy, and it's part of the reason why I like GT last season so much, because there's something very you hit them, you spirit bomb them, that's how you win. Like that's why I picked him, because it's so straightforward.
You know, that outlook almost makes me appreciate the GT pick a little more. I was very anti-GT guy last year. So, you know, he was on every team. I like unique plays and people playing different characters, and that last season was not that, but that's an interesting way to look at it. And I wonder if that like aspect of the game contributes to how many new people it's brought into the FGC, myself included, because you do have a universal game plan. Like you try to open them up and then do as much damage as you can. There's not like unique win conditions. I wonder if simplifying that like contributed to the influx of people.
I don't think it contributed to the influx, but it makes it easier to play the game for sure. Like, because you don't have to like, I mean, like what is it, right? You're just hitting people basically. You don't have to think about like this thing you gotta try to do, you know. And it also makes building strategies against other characters a little bit easier too, because for the most part, you don't have like think about like, imagine you have to like basically like each week I have like a planning session, right, of like this is like what my opponent for nationals has, right, versus like, so if they did that for me, like every person has the same thing of like, what do we do about fucking ghosts? Like what do we do? They all have to worry about that, right?
Yep.
As opposed to if I was playing my last team, they don't really like, base Vegeta has level 3, but that's not coming up all the time, right? That only comes up sometimes. So what, they don't have like a similar thing. Like they're just like, oh, when I get hit, I'll do the normal Dragon Ball stuff. When I'm defending, I'll do normal Dragon Ball stuff. When I'm attacking him, I'll do my normal Dragon Ball stuff. When when you have like this extra things like Orb, Piccolo Orb, or like Ginyu Force, it actually makes it harder for new people, because they have to learn specifically how the move works, how people use it, what options are they going to go for, and what your counters are going to be, as opposed to like, you know, your random Saiyan character, you defend basically the same way, all of them. Like if you get knocked down by a normal character like Bardock, like you're going to try like delay down tech mash, neutral tech reflect, up tech, see what they do. Like you're going to try the normal stuff, like down tech mid screen backdash, like all that stuff. That's like what you would do for almost everybody in the game, as opposed to like something like Ghost. You need like a specific like, yo, I need an answer to this, or else like I'm smoked. Like one of the main reasons I beat Kami the way I did was his characters just don't have good responses for Ghosts. Like none of them have good responses for Ghosts. So I could go like really ham on him.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, last competitive note. So
Okay.
We already talked about Roshi a good bit, but I just wanted your thoughts on this. A lot more people played him week 1, and then they pretty much all dropped him. Why do you think? I mean, I know he's got like a high skill ceiling, maybe a little complex to play online. Why do you think that a lot of people bailed on him though, like after putting the work in for the tournament? And you know, what is really making you stick it out with him? We've talked about your team composition, but if there are any further thoughts on that.
Probably the main reason that people dropped him in nationals is that like a combination of either they feel like there's an easier option for online play available, or they don't feel comfortable against like certain characters or team comps that are coming up a lot. Those are probably the main reasons, I would guess. I'm not switching because, to be honest, it takes me quite a while. I don't learn characters very quickly. It takes me quite a while to learn a character. This is usually like a strength for me, because like over time I gain like a lot of knowledge and like have like all this situational knowledge and stuff. But in Dragon Ball, it's been mostly a weakness because I've been switching characters so many times and switching teams so many times. So I've been mostly committed to just playing him, and there's not really a good option for replacing him. Kaz uses UI instead of Broly, so he has a UI Gotenks Roshi, which is interesting and good. It's just not like the way I want to go about it. essentially. I think that's probably it.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And like I said before too, I think playing him in this format helps me learn him faster because so like in my practice, by the way, like this week I have to do it. I wasn't doing it so much last week, but like if you saw like any games where it's going well in tournament, I mean, I'll kill Gotenks and bring in Broly. So I have Broly with Gotenks and Roshi assist. But in practice, I bring in Roshi so I can practice Roshi because you know, in matches like serious matches, he's my assist. Like he's really like an assist.
Right.
But the downside of that is like it makes it so I don't have a lot of time or matchup experience with Roshi. So I try to like play him more to get like more practice with him. But in this format, there's a lot of opportunities just because like, you know, sometimes my Gotenks can die really fast or, you know, something will happen. I have to play him. So I think it helps me advance him a lot, like learn more stuff about him a lot. It's not like you know, like it is a tournament, but like I'm using it for practice too, essentially.
That makes sense. I like that approach, and I'm glad you're sticking it out with him because we're getting like some hype moments out of it. Because like personally, one of my favorite moments so far was the hypnotize for the set against Nokami. That was so great. Just like from a spectator point of view, like no one's really been using the hypnotize too much, and like to win the whole thing with the hypnotize is just chef's kiss.
He forgot about it. You gotta save it.
So, next set of questions, I want to ask about like how things are kind of behind the scenes for you. You know, how LordKnight the person is doing with the national championship beyond just LordKnight the competitor. So, first and foremost, just like how are you doing, man? This is normally like a weekend endeavor, and instead it's a 7-week endeavor with long sets that are really hard. Like these are, you know, the top 8 people every week. That's like a big deal. Is it a lot to handle? Are you staying healthy? Are you keeping your head up? Like, how's it going?
I mean, I think my mental's pretty good spot. Personally, I'm doing okay. I mean, I'm doing better than okay, honestly. The first week was kind of rough. So I will say I was pretty mad after the first week. Not even because of losing. I was just really mad that like everyone else is allowed to complain about lag, but then like the input thing on PC is a well-known issue with PC. It's not an unusual issue with PC at all. So, but then people are like, "You're OSing." I'm like, "Are you like what? Like what?" That got me really upset. But I got over it pretty quickly. Like you learn to just like ignore that stuff. And like people are like negative towards you, you learn to just kind of deal with it. I have my own way of dealing with it, so I just got over it. And then like, you know, we just go into the next Sunday with like a clear head, because my weeks are split into, well, now the new schedule is Monday through like Friday is all trying to upgrade stuff with my characters, like new combos, new tactics, stuff like that. And then Saturday is get ready for my opponent. If they play a character that is unusual, like Hook and Blue Jita, I'll spend like an extra day. So I'll spend like Friday also doing it. So having this type of schedule it's nice. It keeps me focused. I try to take like some days. So like for instance, yesterday I basically did not play the game. I shouldn't say the game. When I say like play, I mean like play matches. Like I didn't play like, any matches yesterday, just to make sure like I don't burn out during this, because it is 7 weeks in a row. There's a specific type of thought. It's usually that when I start thinking like Dragon Ball FighterZ is a trash game and it sucks, that's when I have to take a break. So I'm trying to like manage that all the time. The best way is to just not play too much. And not playing ranked has really helped with that. I was playing a lot of ranked earlier this year, and like I guess like in July, August, I was like, this game's fucking trash. And I was like, maybe I should stop playing ranked.
You gotta stay out of there.
Gotta stay out of ranked. Yeah,
triple C assist on every team, and
it's not even that. It's like playing ranked extra shows me what's bad about this game. Like there are people who gotten mad at me for saying like this isn't the best fighting game ever or whatever. And I think it's a pretty decent fighting game overall, but there are definitely problems with the game. I'm mostly like, at this point in fighting games, I mostly assume that every game is gonna have problems, and the the only difference is like how much of this shit are you going to deal with, basically. Uh, and Dragon Ball probably the number one thing that pisses me off playing ranked and playing in general is that the system mechanics are too strong. So you can have a case where you're playing somebody where it doesn't feel like you're playing. It feels like I'm playing a CPU basically, who's just super dashing at me and mashing vanish all the time. It's
Right.
not fun at all. It's like, and like if I'm not playing Gotenks is way easier to deal with this because he has ghosts. But if I'm playing some normal character, like if I'm playing like, I don't know, like Vegito or something, like, so I have to watch for your super dash, mash vanish, all this shit all the time. Then when I knock you down, you are stronger than me. So because you have all this variance on your text and stuff.
Right.
So as opposed to like another fighting game where, yeah, this guy is super random, this Soul player is mad random, this Ragna player is mad random, but when I knock them down, that's it. Like, screw how random you are. In Dragon Ball, they're still like, I still gotta worry about that. So that's the thing that gets me the most upset while playing the game. But not playing ranked makes it a lot easier to deal with. Playing ranked, I was like, bro, kill me now, please. Like, what am I? And it's lag. If it wasn't laggy, I would probably be able to deal with it too. But like, it's laggy too. Like, come on, I just want to cry.
It's tough.
Yeah, game stuff.
So you're also a pretty regular content creator. Has that been like a lot with the tournament going on and making content? I know you've been turning your tournament stuff into a lot of content, which has been really cool from like a spectator point of view. But is that like a lot of weight on you to worry about? Like, am I going to get videos out this week? Am I going to stream enough? And I have to train for next week's first to 5. Is that like heavy?
It's been fine because, like, I mean, like on stream I practice, so that's fine. Or like we do, like, it's not hard to come up with stream content really. For YouTube, it's been mildly a challenge. Like, to be honest, I go in like phases with YouTube where like I'm cruising, and then I'm like, man, my content's shit, and I don't know what I'm doing. Like, and I keep cycling. Like right now, I'm actually in the my content is shit and I don't know what I'm doing phase right now. So in that phase, it's pretty hard because you being me, I'm not sure whether the thing I'm going to post is actually worth posting. But my goal is to post every day, so that is pretty hard. I've been making it easier from the tournament perspective. I've been making it easier for myself by, like, I'm like 4 days ahead or whatever of my channel. So like today's video is already ready. Tomorrow, like, all those videos are already ready. So that doesn't really affect playing in the tournament much at all. The only thing playing in the tournament affects the only way playing in the tournament affects my content, I'm sorry, is that you know, like after the first week or whatever, people like, why don't you talk about that double L that you took this week or whatever, like that type of stuff. People will, like, so when you do well, people will show up, but when you do poorly, people will show up too. But like, besides that, it hasn't really affected posting things really, or like doing content stuff that I'm supposed to do.
Yeah, it's a shame that the worst people tend to be the loudest people. Like, I saw that YouTube comment you tweeted out yesterday. That dude just needs a swift kick in the shin. It's completely ridiculous.
That dude literally needs a life. Like, I can't actually imagine like where your headspace is that you do something like that.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But, you know, to balance out all those not so cool people, there are plenty of us who are super
honest,
about it.
I don't give a fuck. Like, that guy, I don't remember the name, right? He said that shit. I'm
Just
like,
go Naruto 69 always.
Naruto fan 69, right? Like, he, like, you took that time. Like the comment helps, right? The ad revenue helps because you probably watched the video. Maybe you didn't watch the video. Maybe you just pulled up and just like typed that. But if that's all it takes, you know, if that's all it takes, like one loss to somebody is all it takes. There's actually like a few months back in like June, I was playing maybe ranked, maybe casual queue, I don't remember, but like someone got a dramatic finish on me. I forgot they were in the game, so I was just mashing rematch, right? Because I was like, fuck, I lost, I'm trying to play again.
Right.
Stream chat's delayed, so stream chat is telling me after I'm already starting my next game that, oh, this is dramatic finish, don't skip it. But I was like, when I saw that, I was like, oh, too late, right? And then what's that bot? The Gloom Shot bot picked it up, whatever. So it has that with no stream chat, right? No stream chat too. So there are people who came to the YouTube channel to be like, I'm unsubbing from you. I can't believe you would skip a dramatic finish. And I was like, if that's all it takes for you to unsub, then you might as well just go. Like, I don't care.
It's also funny that like when they think that's like the ultimate like burn to you, like I'm unsubbing you. I don't care. Like, that's fine.
I can't. You can't. Like I care. Like I care, but like you can't. When you like because you're a content creator too, right? Like we are both putting ourselves into public space, so we can't give too much stock to negative comments, or else you will literally go crazy. I almost quit fighting games over this like years ago.
Yep.
It'll literally drive you insane if you worry about every individual comment. So if you are going to be the guy who pulls up and goes, and you were very quiet the week before, in week 2, you were very, very quiet. You didn't say shit. You pull up week 3 when I lose to be like, haha, you lose. I'm unsubbing as if you were sub because you probably weren't sub in the first place. Then you could just go. Like I'm not gonna spend too much time thinking about it. Really, like you gave me some free clout, thank you, because I posted it. You look mad dumb, and like I'm just gonna move on, and that's it. Like I can't. If I worried about that, and this is for everyone who plays tournaments, making content, streaming, whatever. These people will drive you insane if you let them. You cannot let them control your headspace. You gotta just be like these people don't matter.
100%. Great advice. All right. So last question might not be an answer to this one, but is there anything like behind the scenes when you're doing a tournament like this? This might be like a unique experience, so maybe just something that's come up this time around. But is there anything that like your fans, spectators, just the general public like doesn't see that you think it's important for them like to know about like the process that goes into this, maybe people don't have enough respect for and you wish they had more respect for, or like something on your end that like you don't think people see but like is important for them to know? Is there anything along those lines?
I mean, the only thing I could think of off the top of my head is that some of the matches might be laggy and you won't know. That's it.
They are. I love the event and I love how well it's run. That logo is very strategically placed right over the delay count.
I thought spectator delay is different from the actual game delay, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so like they have the logo there, but like the logo could say like 1 to 3 frames or whatever, but then like the players are having like insane delay, right? Like Double L Mamba was 15 frames or something.
Yeah, pretty wild. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's something.
That's
something people don't appreciate enough. Is that that lag spikes too? Is the other thing that like people don't think about. Like it's not that the whole match is laggy. It's that one crucial moment something spikes and throws your whole game out of whack. Yeah.
Yeah, there's not much we can do. Like there's really not that much we can do about it. It's just like we're just playing through it, you know. It's not the ideal conditions, but it's good. Like despite this, like I'm still treating it like it's a tournament. Oh shit. My bad.
No worries.
Setup exploding. Please stay. Okay. There. Okay, whatever. Fuck it.
Who do you have this week?
Aminiassassin.
Aminiassassin. How do you feel about that one going into it?
I feel fine, I guess. I didn't actually do like we have like a debrief thing, like Discord call that I have usually at the beginning of the week. So I'm doing that today. And then similarly to basically everyone who I played, Mini plays multiple teams. So I have been wrong about who my opponent is going to play every single week. So we're gonna try to take that into account a little bit more. But I think I can do it.
How are you preparing for him, like playstyle wise? Does he do anything that you're specifically looking out for? Actually, if you don't want to answer that and give yourself away, that's okay, because I'm gonna post this before this weekend, so I don't know. I mean, he's not gonna watch this video, but totally up to you if you want to skip that question.
Yeah, no, it's fine. So I've been trying to aim. So essentially, it's really hard to say in drag because of the way Dragon Ball is. This is another really hard thing about this game. Since it's 3 versus 3, so like in a one, I keep using Guilty Gear as an example when I'm sorry, but like in GG, let's say we had the same format in GG, and like you had to play me on Sunday for first fight, right? You know, I play Milia, so you take your Milia matchup knowledge and then like you line it up with like what I do, and you maybe try to build a plan to like beat me on Sunday, right? But in Dragon Ball, it's 3 versus 3, and there's 3 assists, so it is way harder to do that. So when I'm saying stuff like I'm getting ready for the guy that I have to play, in what I had, excuse me, and I figured this out like in season 1, I think. But like if I'm getting ready for one person, I usually just try to aim for like 2 or 3 small things that they specifically do, not like super character, like not like super in-depth stuff, just like 2 or 3 general things to aim for against my opponent.
Like example, if you were playing Kaiden, you're not prepping for Kefla Cooler and 18, you're prepping for like pressure into barrier to try and bait you.
Kaiden is special because he plays rare characters. He plays all rare characters. So so I played Kaiden twice in tournament. I beat him once and he beat me the other time. And both times I make sure to have extra anti-cooler because that's a big part. Like he's a very good player, but he also, like I said it in my case too, like I know playing Roshi gives me a buff because people won't know how to play against him. So it's either going to help me a lot, like it did against Kami, or it might hurt me because I might run into a situation that I don't know how to deal with, what happened to that's what happened to me in Weaver's Hook. Like there was a couple of situations where I was like, I don't know how to deal with this at all. That came up, and he won those situations, right? So like for a player like Kaiden, that's like, oh, I had to get ready for. Well, I mean, at this point, I think I'm pretty good against Cooler, so it wouldn't be so much like anti-Cooler stuff. But I think a better example would be like, actually, Mini is a pretty good example because his main team is like Kid Buu, Cell, GT, right? So like Kid Buu, everyone plays Kid Buu. GT, like, will you ever forget how to play against GT? Like everyone plays GT in season 2. I mean, Cell, it's like if you play this game, you know how to play against Cell because everyone played Cell season 1. So like it's, for in Mini's case, it's not so much about like, oh my god, how do I beat Cell, as if like Cell has never existed in the game. There will be other stuff I can target, as opposed to like for Hook, I was like, we had to like look at how Hook does Orb Oki with Piccolo, because there's apparently like a few ways you can do it. Like how to deal with this, like several things with Blue Vegeta can do, how to deal with like how Hook sets up his neutral, because he uses a character that Piccolo, who they changed his assist, so it's like you got to think about how to deal with this, or else he's gonna get in on you. Like he plays a pretty unusual combination of characters, so a lot of the anti-Hook stuff was like, this is how you play his team type of thing, as opposed to like Kami. Here's another case. Kami, out of the teams I thought he would play, I didn't need extra prep for any of his characters. I'm pretty good against all his characters. So a lot of stuff was like, oh, how does Kami like to tech DR? What does he like to pick in like this type of situation that comes up a lot? Stuff like that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool,
So
man.
every person is different, like how I approach.
Well, rooting for you this week as always.
Okay.
Uh, I think you got this, man. I love when your team gets rolling, and I just want to see you steamroll some people with Gotenks, man. I want to see some sweet 2-touches, some beautiful Goki. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
And if he comes on you, you just call that Roshi assist and say no.
Exactly.
No biggie.
Exactly.
It's going to be good, man. All right, that's all the questions I have for you, dude. You're obviously way bigger than I am, but just for the sake of being thorough, do you want to plug your stuff here? Twitch channel, YouTube, Twitter, all the good stuff?
Yeah. First of all, thank you for having me. I stream on twitch.tv/LordKnight. That one's pretty easy. YouTube is youtube.com/DukeKnight because LordKnight got taken a long time ago, unfortunately. Would appreciate a sub on there if you can. And Twitter is @LordKnightDB. Yes.
Perfect, dude. And I'll add all that stuff in the description too, so we'll have some clean links people can click on. Other than that, dude, I think that's all I got for you.
Cool. Yeah.
All right,
Thanks.
man. Very much appreciated.